Hey, Tiger fans, this is Mark Fitzpatrick from the Tiger Club of Kansas City. It's Tuesday, February 3rd at the Westport Flea Market. Absolutely thrilled today to have Kansas City Royals manager Matt Quatraro as our guest speaker for the first time. Matt, thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
All right, you leave for spring training Sunday. What do you think?
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, as everybody knows around here, it's been frigid and snowy, and see some green grass and watch guys play baseball. It's time. It's time for spring training.
Going in the season, we got some new additions. Obviously, we had to upgrade the outfield a little bit. Lane Thomas, Isaac Collins. Where do you see those guys fitting in this year?
Yeah, we're excited about that. I mean, two totally different guys. Collins, switch hitter, young in his career, had a great year last year for the Brewers. On-base guy, works the counts, knows the strike zone, versatile, can play the infield as well. Lane Thomas, his first year of free agency, he was hurt last year.
Right.
So obviously we feel good about where he is health-wise, and we know that he can be a very productive hitter, and he can play some center, he can play the corners. So the versatility is something that we really value.
You've added some depth to the bullpen with Matt Strom and Nick Mears. Where will those guys fit in your pitching staff?
Strom, a veteran lefty that we've seen pitch in high leverage, is an original draft from the Royals, so we're excited to get him back. Another guy that we think can just be a late inning guy. We could pitch him in the sixth, we could pitch him in the ninth, wherever he needs to be. He's very motivated to be here and do well. Nick Mears, really big arm, real good talent, came from the Brewers as well. Another guy that's going to factor into that high leverage anytime sixth through eighth inning. And the thing I like to think about is when you're winning a lot of games, you can't use the same relievers all the time, right, because they can't all pitch every day. So we need a lot of guys that can pitch in multiple roles.
Last year you had a lot of injuries to your starting staff. How's the general health of that group going into this season?
Really good. We're happy with where we are right now. Reagan's finished the year healthy. Bubich, who was injured at the end of the year, 100% throwing bullpens for the last month. So he'll come into spring training ready to go. Lugo was also hurt at the end of the year. We feel really good about where he is. We've seen him throw. He's been here in Kansas City for the offseason, so we've seen him throw quite a bit. So we feel really good about the guys that were injured ending the year.
I want to ask you about a Kansas City legend, Salvador Perez. Will he see less time at catcher this year, more at first, DH? Where will he fit in?
Ideally, he'll catch and DH, maybe occasionally at first. He's very open to playing first. I think he understands now that catching the same volume that he's always caught is not the best thing for him. But those are conversations that we have now in January that he feels one way about. And then in June, when I try to take him out, he feels differently about it. So, he's the ultimate competitor, and he's a guy that he's not the same as everyone else. He can do things physically at his age that a lot of guys can't. So we have to really try to strike that balance.
Local guy that will share the catching duties with him. Really excited about is Carter Jensen. He really had a great end of the season last year. I'm sure you're excited about having him.
Yeah, for a young guy, thinking back to the first time I met Carter, he was in big league camp 2 years ago, and the poise at the time, I think he was 19. The poise that he has, and not only in the clubhouse but at the plate, behind the dish, understanding how he needs to improve. He just has that the knack for learning and for learning at a high level. So it's fun to see him, and then you factor in the fact that he's local and what that means to the fans is really special.
What's it like to have a player on the team like Bobby Witt Jr., one of the true superstars of baseball, with a great future ahead of him?
That's the thing, is he's so young, so humble, the way he goes about it, the way people respect him and he has respect for them. It's special, and you can't take for granted when you do have a generational talent like that on your team. And we're fortunate we have a couple of them, when you talk about Salvi and him. And so it's something that I really value.
Him growing up with a dad who played a long time in the major leagues, that has to have a very positive effect, I think, on his mental approach to the game.
Well, it does. I don't think it has to, but because of who his dad is and his parents, the way they've raised him, and the person he is, I think it does have that effect. You can see it go both ways sometimes with parents that don't value the right things. Or Bobby Sr. is a tremendous person, and it's no accident that Bobby's developed the way he has as a person.
Last thing I want to ask you about, a lot of talk about the fences coming in. I know this was not an arbitrary decision. A lot of thought, a lot of analytics went into. Tell us what was behind the decision.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we wanted the park to play more neutral. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was so drastically different than most of the places you go on the road, and that can affect the mentality of the players as far as I have to do one thing when I'm home, one thing on the road, and we just wanted it to be a more neutral thing. Now, when the analytics got involved and they started diving into it, knowing the personnel that we have and that we will likely have for a number of years, we think that this is going to be beneficial to us over the long haul, not just in this season. So we're trying to use a home field advantage a little more than we have.
All right, Matt, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
speak for Royals fans. We're so glad you got the extension. You're going to be around for a
Appreciate
while
that.
and cannot wait for baseball season to
Thanks,
start.
Mark.
Hey, folks, next week from PowerMizzou, Gabe DeArmond, regular speaker to the Tiger Club. And you can now register for our annual golf tournament. That'll be June 29th at Loch Lloyd. So go to kctigerclub.com for more information on that, on other events, and also on membership.